What are the main challenges that you will face if you want to have a successful career in management consulting and if you want to earn 250K or more? Hi everyone, my name is Johannes. I'm a management consultant myself, and on this channel I want to help you to have a successful career in management consulting and to achieve your career goals. And today I want to talk about the main challenges that you will face if you want to have a career in management consulting. And I can tell a little bit from my own story and all of the challenges that I will talk about. I faced them myself. And it's quite difficult because if you're young, if you say, hey, I want to have a career in management consulting, of course you're full of ambition, you are very motivated to get there. But one thing is for sure, the road to get into management consulting and then also to have a career in management consulting, it's a very tricky one and it's very difficult. And today I want to talk about the three main challenges that you will face during such a career. And let's start with challenge number one. And this is a challenge when you are still a student. So let's say that you are still studying and then you set a career goal for yourself and you say, hey, I want to have a career in management consulting. And of course, now the main challenge is to find a way to get into management consulting. And this is really tricky because the way to get into management consulting, it's kind of intransparent. It's a very complex interview process. It's really difficult to get into the right firms. So this is one of the biggest challenges that you will face at the beginning. And data proves that. So for example, if you want to join a top consulting firm like McKinsey, but it's similar with firms like BCG or Bain, so the top strategy firms, the acceptance rate is around 1%. So of each application or of each 100 applications they receive, they only accept roughly one person. And this shows how difficult it is to get into consulting. Of course, if you want to join tier 2 consulting firms or in-house consulting firms or the big four, there the numbers are a bit different, but still it's very challenging to get in these firms because these firms are very selective in who they want to accept. And in order to actually get into consulting and to overcome the challenge, you need to do mainly three things. So first of all, you need to make sure that you develop the right profile for consulting firms. So this means that you make sure that you have the right grades, that you have the right academic background, that you also gain some practical experiences, that you do something besides your studies, so that you have some extracurricular activities, that you overall create a very attractive profile. That's very important. Also, you need to make sure that you have the right strategy to get into consulting, because if you just send in your application, this is one way of applying, but of course you can also network into the firm and try to find different ways to increase your chances of actually receiving an invitation for the interview. Once you receive the invitation for the interview, then of course you need to prepare for the case studies, for the interview process, and this means that you need to practice, and that you really need to get comfortable with the interview process in consulting. And this is like the main challenge, okay? Getting into consulting, and this is the first hurdle that you will face of actually, getting the offer to join the consulting industry, okay? Then the second challenge I want to talk about, this is one step further, and typically this is when you are in an internship in management consulting. So typically as a student, you start doing internships, and especially, later on in the master studies, then, it's a very common strategy to do an internship and then try to get an offer during that internship. And there, of course, you also face a lot of challenges, because here as well, the acceptance rate or the offer rate is very, very low. So only between 10 and 20% of the people who do an internship in management consulting, they actually receive an offer for a full-time position. And again, the standards of these consulting firms are very, very high. So what makes it so difficult? So one of the main challenges is that you need to develop the right skills, okay? So consulting firms, if they hire you as an intern, they already expect you to have the skills and to show the skills, to demonstrate the skills that you would have or that you would also need as a full-time position, because they say, hey, we only want to have people who already have a certain skill set that we would also set as a prerequisite for new joiners, for full-time positions and for full-time hires. Okay, so this is one of the challenges. Also, you have to convince with your personality. This is also very challenging because you need to, get used to the consulting lingo. You need to get used to the consulting culture, and you also need to show that you, as a person, that you fit into the industry, that you also fit to the firm. This is also very difficult. And last but not least, you also need to make sure that you manage your internship in the right way, that you figure out, okay, what is the process to actually get the offer, and that you also manage the stakeholders during the internship, that you say, hey, these are the people that I need to be on good terms with, and then you also need to actively steer that internship and manage these stakeholders to get the offer. Okay, and the way to do that, to overcome these challenges, is typically that you actively prepare for your internship. And this means that you, in a structured way, try to acquire all the necessary skills that you need in order to actually provide the quality of work that you need to show in order to get the offer. And this means that you learn skills like the technical skills of PowerPoint and Excel, also the hard skills, that you learn how to work with strategic frameworks, that you also learn financial modeling, for example, and problem solving, and also the soft skills like communicating, presenting, organizing yourself, and so on. Okay, so really make sure that you prepare for that internship. That's really crucial. I saw so many interns who went unprepared into that consulting internship, and then it's no surprise that they don't get the offer. Okay, so put in the work, do the preparation for the internship, and also make sure that you learn about the firm, that you try to get comfortable with the consulting industry, that you also get a feel about the culture that you typically see in these companies, so that you also that it becomes more easy for you to actually adjust and to show and to convince with your personality. And last but not least, you should also make sure that you understand the process of getting the offer, and that you actually manage your career. Okay, so this is like how you overcome the second challenge of getting the offer in an internship. And then challenge number 3, and this is even later on in the process. This is once you are working as a full-time consultant in the consulting industry. Then the main challenge is to get promoted fast and also not to burn out. Okay, and this is really difficult because in consulting there's typically the up or out principle. So this means that you either get promoted or you get more or less kicked out of the company. Okay, you don't really get kicked out, but the company makes pretty clear that they highly recommend you to leave the firm and look for another position. And that's what makes it so difficult. So even if you are in consulting, still it's very, very competitive, and only a few people really make it to the top ranks, only a few people get promoted to project manager or beyond, even to partner. And these are the ranges where you are actually able to make 250K or more. And the other group, these are the people who would get to the top, but they burn out on the way to get there, because typically you have a high workload and they don't have the right strategies to get or to balance their work life. And these are some crucial challenges that I see over and over again, especially for junior consultants, normal consultants, and also people towards project managers. And the way to overcome that is, again, that you learn the skills that you need in order to work efficiently. Okay, so as an intern, you learn all the basic skills, and then once you are in consulting, then it's important to really become efficient and effective. Okay, so this means that you get the most out of 1 hour work as possible, and that if you work, let's say 12 hours per day, that you get the most out of these 12 hours, that you don't have to work 14 or 16 hours. Okay, so this is again really important, that you learn the necessary skills, and also that you manage your promotion cycles in a way that you are able to get on the promotion fast track. On the other hand, it's also really important that you find strategies to manage your work life. And here's often the misconception that people say, if I work like 60 to 80 hours, that I don't have time, to have a healthy private life. And that's basically not true. So my answer is always, I worked 80 hours, for the past, let's say 6 years, and I was still able, to have a great relationship, to have a good family life, to, do a lot of sports, to, also manage my finances, have time for myself to relax. That's all possible, okay? You just need to have the right strategies. And the biggest mistake that people do is that they don't put in the effort to learn these strategies, and they just complain, that this is how life is, and that they don't have a healthy work-life balance. But for me, that's no excuse. You just have to develop the right strategies. And this is how you overcome challenge number 3, okay? So learn the skills that you need to perform on the highest level, also understand the promotion process and manage the process, and then also manage your work-life balance and develop the right strategies. And if you overcome these 3 challenges, so first, the challenge of getting into consulting as a student, then second, of getting an offer as an intern, and third, getting on a promotion fast track and not burning out. If you mastered all of these 3 challenges, then you will be able to have a great career, and also you will be able to earn 250K or more, okay? And it's really important, and this is the one thing that I want you to understand, it's really important to understand that you have it in your own hands, okay? So it's up to you to make sure that you overcome these challenges, that you deal with them, and there are strategies and tools that you can learn in order to do that, okay? This is really important, and this is how I did it myself as well in the past years, and I had a very good career so far. I'm still going strong, but I can tell you based on my experience, and I saw this with many people that I worked with in the consulting industry, and also many people that I work with in my coachings and mentorings, that these are the main challenges, and there are strategies to overcome that. If you want to learn these strategies and apply these strategies, then apply for a free coaching session with me. There's a link below. There you can click on, and you can apply for a free coaching session. And in a free coaching session, you will learn the strategies that will actually help you to get where you want to be and to have a successful career in management consulting. So with that being said, hope you have a very successful week, and talk to you soon. Goodbye, Johannes.